Imagine this, you're on a family vacation expecting nothing more than some downtime, when, out of nowhere, your house turns into the battleground for an alien invasion. But here's the twist, these aliens are tiny, goofy, and they've got a mind control device that can only control the adult. Yep, that's the setup for Aliens in the Attic, a chaotic, action-packed, and surprisingly hilarious adventure where kids have to take on these aliens. But does this childhood classic still hold up today? Let's dive in and find out. Welcome back to another movie review. Today, we are revisiting Aliens in the Attic, a fun and fast-paced adventure that hit theaters back in 2009, personally when I was 5 years old. This movie follows a group of kids who discover that their vacation house has some uninvited guests. Tiny, mischievous little aliens that plan to take over the world, starting with their attic. Now, I remember watching this movie as a kid and absolutely loving it, but if you're in the same boat as me, you probably forgot about this movie entirely until seeing this video, or in my case, a random post about it that unlock this memory. So let's ask the big question. Does Alien in the Attic still hold up today, or is it just one of those movies that's best left in the realm of nostalgia? Let's dive in and find out. This movie kicks off when a family heads to their remote lake house for a summer vacation with the usual mix of personalities. Rebellious teenagers, nerdy kids, clueless parents, and an over-the-top boyfriend. But where do the aliens come into play, you might ask? Well, here's the twist. A small group of invading aliens who land in the attic with plans for world domination. These aliens, while armed with advanced technology, are tiny and menacing in their own way. But physically, they don't stand a chance against humans. That's why they rely on their biggest advantage, the mind control device. With this, they can take control of adults, turning them into their own personal puppets. Unfortunately for them, this device does not work on the kids, and this leaves the younger generation as Earth's last line of defense. What follows is a mix of Home Alone style traps, fast-paced alien fights, and family comedy. The kids, led by Tom, played by Carter Jenkins, and his cousin Jake, played by the one and only Austin Butler, have to figure out how to stop the aliens without alerting their parents. Along the way, they form an unlikely connection with Sparks, one of the aliens who isn't fully on board with the invasion and begins to question his mission. Sparks' internal struggle adds a surprising layer to the film, providing an interesting contrast to the rest of the aliens who are fully committed to their mission. The film does an excellent job of balancing action with humor. Each confrontation between the aliens and the kids feels dynamic, using household objects in creative ways, from homemade slingshots to high-tech alien gadgets turned against their own owners. The action stays fresh and engaging. The aliens themselves are surprisingly expressive for the CGI models back in 2009, adding in their own comedic appeal while still maintaining a sense of threat. Additionally, the family dynamics add depth to the story. Tom, the main protagonist, struggles with his own insecurities and doubts about becoming a leader, making his arc satisfying as he steps up to protect his siblings. And his sister's relationship with his sister Bethany, played by Ashley Tisdale, adds another layer of conflict, as she initially refuses to believe in the alien's threat, distracted by her obnoxious boyfriend Ricky. These interpersonal tensions add not only humor but also elevate the stakes of the adventure. One of the film's strongest aspects is its pacing. At no point does it feel like a drag. The story moves briskly from setup to action, keeping audiences entertained. Whether it's a high-energy chase sequence through the attic or a tense moment where the kids must outsmart the mind-controlled adults, the film maintains momentum and keeps things fun. And that's going to conclude the minimal spoiler review for this video, but we're about to talk about the best moments and my likes and dislikes, so you're going to want to stick around for that. One of the most entertaining moments in the Aliens in the Attic has to be when the aliens use their mind control device on Ricky, the arrogant, way too loud boyfriend of the kid's older sister Bethany. After the initial bump up with the aliens when they take over Ricky's mind, the kids hijack the control device and use it to make him fight himself in the backyard in an over-the-top, martial arts inspired scene that is completely ridiculous but absolutely hilarious. Seeing an adult man get turned into a flailing, self-punching video game style character is the kind of chaotic fun that defines this movie. And now you want to know what the golden moment of Aliens in the Attic is. But what are my likes and dislikes? I'm about to tell you those right now. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this movie is the fast-paced action and humor. While some jokes don't quite land, most of them do, and even though some don't land, the movie moves at such a quick pace and never lingers too long on any one gag, so you don't really notice. And the action sequences, especially the inventive ways the kids use the household items to fight off the aliens. It really keeps things entertaining from start to finish. Okay, so now that we've talked about the action and the humor, let's talk about some of the designs and tech. The aliens are small but very menacing, with glowing blue eyes and distinct personalities that make them visually memorable. Their mind control device is a great plot tool, allowing for some hilarious moments like Rixie's backyard battle, while also raising the stakes for the kids. Now that we've spoke briefly about the aliens' designs and then some of their tech, I'm going to talk about my favorite character of the movie, and I really mean this. He is just awesome, and he's very adorable with his forearms. Sparks. He's the standout character for me, while the other aliens are mostly one-dimensional villains, but are still super cool. Sparks has an actual arc, from his struggle between loyalty to his species and his growing realization that Earth isn't the problem, adds a little depth to the story. It's nothing groundbreaking, but you can tell it adds a bit of extra heart. Now, the nostalgia. Oh my god, the nostalgia in this movie is amazing. If you watch this as a kid, revisiting it brings back that classic Saturday movie feeling. It might not be a groundbreaking, amazing movie, but it's fun, lighthearted, and an adventure that delivers exactly what it promises. Entertaining chaos and aliens in the attic. Now we're going to get into some of the dislikes, and they're not dislikes, it's just things I would like to see more personally. Like, the aliens could have had more personality. Aside from Sparks, the rest of the aliens are pretty generic, still pretty cool. They fill their roles, the brute, the leader, the tech expert, but don't stand out beyond their designs. A little more depth could have made it a more compelling story with better villains. I only have one more complaint, and it can't be faulted too much because it's the CGI. The effects didn't really age super well, especially when they turn giant in the third act of the movie. But obviously the CGI is like what, 15, 14 years old at this point, so it can't be faulted too much. It definitely looks dated now, but at the time it was awesome. That being said, it adds to the movie's nostalgic charm more than it detracts from the fun. Now we're going to segue into why it works overall. And at the end of the day, Aliens in the Attic isn't trying to be a masterpiece. It's just a fun, family-friendly adventure that delivers on laughs, action, and large amounts of nostalgia. It has a simple but engaging premise, likable, if not particularly deep characters, and enough ridiculous moments to keep both kids and adults entertained. It may not have incredible performances or top-tier CGI, but it does have heart. It's a movie that knows exactly what it is and embraces its over-the-top, goofy energy without hesitation. Whether you're watching it for the first time or revisiting it with nostalgia goggles on, Aliens in the Attic is a fun ride that still holds up as a solid family adventure. So, if you're in the mood for some lighthearted chaos, grab some popcorn and give it another watch. You might just find yourself enjoying it all over again like I did myself. Thank you for joining me in today's minimal spoiler review. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and feel free to check out my previous video. I put a lot of work in these videos and I try to improve on each one. So if you can, check it out. It tells the algorithm that my videos are worth watching, and as always, stay curious and let's keep the conversation